Okay, there you go. Congratulations, Coach. That's very nice. What a game.
Opening statement.
Yeah. Okay, we will go to Coach May for an opening statement, then take questions for the student athletes. Coach?
Well, as a fan of the sport, what a great game for college basketball, a great game for our league. We have a lot of respect for the Maryland program. I'll be shocked if they're not playing in at least the second weekend. That's how talented they are, but credit to our guys. We weathered some storms, made some good runs, but made enough plays when we needed to at the end.
Thanks, Coach. And now we'll take questions for the student athletes right here in front.
Chris Ballas with the Wolverine on 3. Tre, what's going through your mind on the last play? Was there any chance you were giving that ball up?
Yes, the play was to either make a play for myself or make it for my teammates. And when I got down there, they took away my teammates, so it was just about me making a play for the team, but for me as well.
Right here.
Mitchell Rands, IUI, and this one's for all three of you. All three of you guys last year were a part of different schools and different conferences, and in your first year, you guys are playing for a Big Ten Conference Tournament Championship tomorrow. What does it mean for all three of you guys to be playing a conference championship tournament in your guys' first year playing for the Wolverines?
Danny, we'll start with you.
Yeah. Sorry. I think when we all got to campus 10 months ago, we knew exactly what we could do and what we could be. Obviously, the end of the regular season didn't end how we would have liked it to win that type of championship. And then Coach May, right after the game, was like, we have a new season coming up. And we have a lot of guys who are coming from winning programs. And I know Tre won the SEC championship last year. Vlad's been to a Final Four. And other guys in the locker room. And we know what it takes. And we had guys step up big time tonight. Vlad, Tre, Roddy. I thought Ruben was phenomenal defensively. And you need everyone to win a championship. And we got one more tomorrow to do what we want to do. And we need everyone to step up again.
Vlad?
I agree with Danny. We came here to play as good of basketball as we can, and everybody buy in that. So that was just like the work we put before. It just pays off now.
You asked us through that question, but it takes an entire team, and it takes a staff that believes in guys. When Coach came in, he said recruiting me, he said he wanted to put the right guys together, and I feel like he did a great job of that. But as a team, we came together, and like you said, he's a winner, I'm a winner, he's a winner, and the resume speaks for itself. But can we come together and can we win together? And I feel like we've embodied that as a team, and we just got to continue to play the right way and continue to win.
Steven Streaming, XL Sports. Danny and Vlad, I've heard compliments of you guys all year long. A lot of people say, okay, you are two of the best big men that talk to each other the whole game. You guys play together well. Talk a little bit about how you guys do on the court and how you do off the court.
Vlad?
It's probably the most important thing, because if we don't talk, we don't know what we're going to do, and that's something that we put an extra focus on, talking to each other, because he sees one thing, I see another thing, and if we can just like make a whole view and make a right decision, it's gonna pay off.
Danny?
I think he kind of hit it on the nail, but I said this after our game yesterday. When the guys around us are playing as well as they've played the last two games, it makes us look far better. And I thought Tre did a great job at running our team today. I thought all of the guys just did really great things out there, and it just makes us look better, makes the game easier for us. And obviously there's a lot of talk about the two of us, as you said, but we try to not really look at that because it goes so much deeper than just the two of us.
Back in the corner.
Julian Darnell for the Big Ten Network and The Journey. This is for Tre. Take me back to when you were a younger person. What was your first game-winning play as a younger person, and does it measure up to what you just did 30 minutes ago for the Michigan Wolverines?
My first game winner, I was in sixth grade. It was my sixth grade summer going into my seventh grade. I was playing up with the 17s in Tallahassee back home, and we were playing one of the best teams out of Tallahassee, and I hit a full court, like behind the back heave, and we ended up winning it. So, that was a big one, but compared to this, I mean, this is something a kid dreams of his whole life. I mean, playing Division I basketball at a school like Michigan with the legacy it has, and being able to make a shot like that, I mean, it's unreal. But I mean, all glory goes to God. But I mean, it's up there with that one for sure.
Straight back here.
Yeah, this is for Tre. So obviously they go up, and then it feels like within 10 seconds you're already down the other end scoring. So how do you, in that split second, know exactly what you're going to do and then execute it?
As a point guard, it's not necessarily I know exactly what I'm going to do. Coach just puts me in the positions to make a read, and me and him have that relationship and that trust for me to make the right decision, and he just puts me in the place to make the decision. I just felt like I made the right one tonight.
Right here.
Akeem Gillespie, Indy Star. This is also for Tre. So similar to the previous question, just you had the game-winning shot, but you also hit a big three-pointer before that. Just how do you stay poised in those moments to, again, make the right reads and just have faith in yourself to make the right play?
Just my confidence. My confidence is something we've talked about as a team, and something that coaches just continue to push me and trust me. I mean, if I wasn't a good player, I wouldn't be here, and that's something Coach feels like I got away from for a little bit. Just having confidence, and then obviously the screen from Vlad to get me open was great. But I mean, just confidence and belief in myself and the trust from my teammates. I feel like when I'm open, I feel like the trust and the belief coming from them it gives me that confidence to knock down big shots like I did today.
Right here.
Yeah, Charles Post with SB Nation. You keep mentioning confidence. How can you keep that going tomorrow and then into March Madness?
Is this for all the players?
Tre first.
Or for Tre? Okay.
Just not overthinking it. We can't overthink it. We got to continue to be the same team we've been these past two games. I feel like that's what's got us here. This is what got us to this point. So I mean, just not trying to overdo too much. Just have confidence when it comes. Make the right plays, and if it's not there, just continue to grind the game out and find a way to win. I feel like that's the biggest thing.
Anything else for the? Okay, guys, you're dismissed. Thank you. Oh wait, I'm sorry.
Brandon Carr from WDIV Local 4. Vlad, you entered the second half on like a 6-0 run. You got a key block. What was said at halftime, and what led to that scoring outburst and defensive play as well?
We talk how they making runs, we making runs. We just have to keep trusting to each other and keep going. Because if they go on a run, we cannot drop our heads. And it was our run, and I feel like we executed pretty well.
Okay, fellas, now you're done. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And we will continue now with questions for Coach May. Right here. Right here.
Brian Gillis, SB Nation. Coach, can you talk a little bit about your team's poise? And not so much in that last play, but there were times when Maryland made runs, either to jump out a little bit ahead or to cut into your leads, and your guys didn't seem to press, didn't seem to panic. They just kind of in a workmanlike fashion.
Well, we have a veteran group. Even though they haven't been together, they've been in a lot of meaningful games, and we've been in a lot of these. For anyone that's followed us closely, we've been in too many of these one-possession games throughout the season, and a lot like tonight, we've just found different ways to overcome our turnover issues. And some nights it's on the glass, some nights it's banging in shots, some nights it's getting it inside. So it's been different every night, but hopefully that bodes well as you continue to play in one-and-done situations, scenarios where you just have confidence. We don't know what it's going to look like exactly, but we do have a lot of belief that if we just stay the course. But when you're playing a team like Maryland, they've got so many weapons. If you drop your head when they make a big-time play, it's going to be a long night. Our message was we had to respond and try to beat them down the floor because we expected them to make the plays they made. They're, like I said, they're a really good team.
Right here.
Dusty, can you just talk about the job you guys did on the glass in the first half, and then how good it was to see Roddy hit a shot and have a couple big plays there?
Just seeing Roddy having fun hooping again is the best part. The shots are going to come. The second one, the corner three, looked good. The play that jumps out, obviously Tre had those monster plays, and you know everyone has a hand in that. But the play that really stands out was they had a rebound. There's maybe a minute and a half left, and I'm a little bit fuzzy, but they had possession of the ball, and Roddy and one of our other wings went in and ripped it out of it looked like a rugby scrum and came out with the ball. I thought that was just a play, a pivotal play where you give your fans belief, your team belief that we're going to make the toughest plays we need to win. And We did. I thought our guys sat down and guarded. We fouled down the stretch. We put them at the line too many times, but I thought overall we stayed the course. And then, fortunately, the last foul, I don't say fortunately, it fouled Ruben out, which allowed us to get organized and get past putting them at the line with 5 or 6 seconds left.
On the glass in the first half.
Impressive. I mean, just throughout the game. I mean, 47-18. At half, we had 50% of our misses back. And I do think we did a better job in the first half of getting downhill, and we were cutting better off our penetration and driving the closeouts. The second half, we tried to feed the 5 a little bit too much. Like I said, going into the game, they're elite at keeping you from throwing it to their 5. They bait you into the floaters. They bait you into throwing to the 5. So I thought we did a better job in the first half of breaking their defense down, which you get more second shots when that's the case.
Right here.
Sam Novotny, Michigan Daily. Right here, Dusty. Can you just talk to, you lose to this team a little over a week ago, and then obviously yesterday, a big bounce back. Can you just talk to the rejuvenation of this team in the past week?
Yeah, I mean, number one, we have a group that has great character, basketball character and life character. So obviously we were disappointed, but there were some circumstances that we weren't ready for. The amount of games, the lack of practice. We basically tried to make sure we got to the games, and we weren't as crisp. And so we got knocked down a notch, and then our guys showed up the last week of practice with a reinvigorated mindset. And as you guys are asking Tre this or that, all I'm thinking about is, man, Tre's in there every day putting in the work. And when you put in the work and you believe in yourself and you have teammates and a staff that believes in you, then good things typically happen more times than not. And so it's a group that didn't waver with their conviction to work and staying together, because our season is long. I mean, our season is long, and these guys are together a lot, and it's demanding physically and mentally. So for them to have the renewed energy it just once again shows what type of guys they are.
Right here.
Coach, you mentioned that a previous play was like a rugby scrum, but the final play with Tre, it almost seemed like something out of a football playbook, with him reading the screen from Vlad and getting downhill. Just how important was it for him to get downhill and put pressure on the rim, and that they weren't able to stop him, that he was able to get all the way to the rim?
Well, he had a running start, and Tre was a big-time, I think, a 5-star football recruit. So he's able to get downhill, use his speed and athleticism. But for him to knife back to his left hand and finish that, credit Maryland. They made him change directions. And typically in that situation, if you make the guy change direction, you can maybe bring some help and just distort his reads and whatnot. But Tre made a great change of direction move, got past the guy, and then had to finish over 6'10" at the rim. So didn't have to get the option 2 or 3, but like I said, just a great play by him. Good heads-up play by Vlad. Vlad got a clean catch, tossed it right back, so he had a head of steam. And so that's really all we were trying to do, just put it in Tre's hands with a head of steam with a couple options, and, man, he made a play.
We're going to take a couple more for Coach right here. Steve.
Dusty, Steve Streaming, XL Sports. You got the mic there. Talk about these 4 teams that played here today and how close these games were and how important it is and how strong the Big Ten is.
I was talking about it with one of the coaches during the first game, and we were watching those 2 teams play, and you forget. I woke up this morning, I actually forgot who the other game was, because you've watched so much hoops, and then you think for a second, you're like, wow, we haven't seen Wisconsin in a long time, but I've watched them on film because of mutual opponents. The 4 teams playing here today, Michigan State, obviously, the year they had, the commitment that those guys had to each other was impressive. Like I said, our season's long, and for those guys to get through their tough stretch and then power through it and finish the way they did was impressive. And then Wisconsin they've been around all year. Those guys, they've got really good players. Obviously, it's a well-coached team. It's a great program and system and culture that they have established over the last 30 years or whatnot. So I couldn't have more respect and admiration for the team we're playing tomorrow. Hopefully we can bring our best effort. It could be another great college basketball game. But this league's been a blast. Being here, the crowd, the energy, everyone around it, the league's been incredible with everything just being laid out. So, we've had fun. Obviously, when you're winning, it's a lot more fun. But it's been a great league season, 20 games. I don't know if any coaches, we might want to shrink that, because I'm joking. 20 games is a lot, but, man, it's great for the sport. It's great for our guys to play in such meaningful games. But we'll reflect on a lot more of that after the season.
Right here.
Charles Post of SB Nation. You've been talking a lot recently about needing the offense to be more balanced again. It seems like that's been the case the last 2 days. What's the potential for this team when they are doing that?
Well, we have 3 or 4 guys usually clicking on each night, and we're going to find our stride and have all 5 to 7 to 8 really clicking on the same night. And when we do that, we'll be incredibly dangerous. But right now, we're going to the hot hand. That was one of the keys. Just let's go with what's working. And in the first half, this was working, and in the second half, this was working because Reese was in foul trouble and whatnot. So credit our guys. It's not always the case. It's not always the case that teams recognize and flow without the coach's joystick and what's working and going to it and then leveraging that for something else. And our guys did that. They've continued to grow their communication, their camaraderie. Just it gets better and better. And this time of year, that bodes well.
Thanks, Coach. We'll see you tomorrow.